The revolution will now be televised.
Sweet, I gotta eat. With my hustle turbo, never gon' fall, let it be known. Ain't nothing sweet about the heat. Let it be known when the doors low, then the guns blow. Ain't nothing sweet, I gotta eat. With my hustle turbo, never gon' fall, let it be known.
I ain't spitting white lies, pumping niggas full of smoke. I'm on that block, I'm getting green, I'm pumping white bars of coke. Making broke niggas rich, teaching novice how to pitch. I made that switch, make yours. Matter of fact, fall back and forth. I grind with a cause, daddy, money's my motivation. I'm a rapper by choice, a hustler by occupation. And my street profession, niggas call me Connect. And hustlers worldwide, show that man respect. Hustlers worldwide, for that reason I collect. See, that feeling's mutual, I never deal with that usual suspect. A snitch nigga's always on deck to put your business on the fence, take cassette. Nevertheless, I put.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Delgados.
We are live and direct on the set of the Delgados podcast, prepared for another great episode. Before we get started today, I would like to recognize the passing of my dear brother and friend, Baja Asali. A lot of you knew him from the music business. He spent years at Def Jam. He worked at JMJ. He worked at Sony. He worked at Adel. He worked at Don Pooh Entertainment. But aside from being an executive in the music business, he was a dear friend of mine. We grew up together in Clinton Hill, went to school together. I would like to send a special pair of condolences to his life partner, Kim, his daughter, Mimi, his daughter, Kiki, and his sister, Akua. He loved all four of you dearly. You ladies were always top of mind for him and the most important thing in his life, as well as sending salutations to all those who mourn him and loved him and miss him. Baja, we love you. We miss you, brother.
Amen.
Peace.
Now, we're about to jump right into it. You know I'm here with my partner in crime, Eric Giancarlo.
Peace to the gods and the earths.
And we got a special blessing today. We got the older guard, Jose Tarantino, in the building.
Thank you for having me on the Delgado podcast.
And listen, we got a special surprise. Sadat X.
You
What? You already know
What?
From the Brandnubians.
That's right.
From the Brandnubians is in the building. Dot, what's good, brother?
Everything is great, man. Everything is great.
Dot, say less, man. Yo, first and foremost, brother, it's a pleasure having you, man. I appreciate you pulling up. It means everything to me, brother.
Glad to be here. You know what I'm saying? You told me to come on through, so I come through.
Peace, King. Say less, we here. And as usual, Eric, take it away, brother.
Peace to Dot, man. Appreciate you being here.
Likewise.
Before I even start asking you questions, I want to tell you, in my opinion, right, you were top 5 voice MCs that I love. Your voice is bananas. Chuck D, Biggie, you,
Rakim,
and Rakim, and I like Ice Cube.
Listen, man, your voice is one of the more distinct voices that has ever made hip-hop music. In terms of our culture, when you hear either one of your solo records, the work you did with Wild Cowboys, what you did with Brandnubians, I know a Sadat X verse from the first word. We be the Wild Cowboys, got a lot of style. Like
that shit crazy.
Like as soon as your voice come on, I'm like, that's Dot, that's the God.
So I wanted to ask you, right? Give us your introduction into hip hop and how did you get started with the Brandnubians and the whole thing?
Well, basically, you know, I was born in the Bronx. You know, the early formative years.
And that's interesting because a lot of people think you from Brooklyn.
Yeah, a lot of people think I lived in Brooklyn for a while though. But you know, I'm from the Bronx, formative years. You know, family's still there. We talking about the Melrose, Jackson, Cortlandt Avenue, Concourse Village.
All up and through the Bronx.
Right in that little pocket right there. Came up to New Rochelle. When I got up to New Rochelle, it was basically the advent of hip hop. You know, but it was. But I was still going back and forth to my cousins coming down there, coming to the Bronx on the weekends and stuff. And you know, you'd see the formation of it in the parks, you'd hear it, and they'd be bringing out the equipment, and you know, it was different crews, and that was at the end of the gangs and stuff, the Bronx gangs or whatever. And just was intrigued by it, man. You know, it was a new art form. You know, it was forbidden. It wasn't for everybody. Everybody just couldn't rock the hip hop. And went up to New Rochelle, and Grand Poobah was up there. You know, after a couple of years. You know, New Rochelle is but so big, but it's big enough. You know what I'm saying? It's but a stone's throw from the Bronx, and it was hip hop there. It's always been hip hop there. And Poobah was in the group Masters of Ceremony, and
Masters of
Ceremony, Trey Bag
Classic,
MCs,
classic.
and you know, he broke up with the group with that group, and came and got us. You know, like a lot of times people talk about like groups going through the struggle for 100 years to get a deal. It was basically, you know, Poobah was taking me and Jamar to the studio. Jamar was doing what he do, I was doing what I do, and trying to make something happen like that. Just so happened we made a track together. Sounded good. Poobah already had inroads to the industry. Took it to some of his people. Dante Ross was involved, Jazzy J, and we got a deal. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't been no group for years like that. You know how they be like,
wow.
totaled
It just-
and
it just
It
happened.
just popped into place.
Dante
And
Ross,
okay
good
with
friend
it.
of mine, so I was about to say that. I didn't know you were going to mention it. My introduction to you guys was on a demo that Dante Ross had.
Yeah.
And that's how I first heard of the Brandnubians and the Brandnubians record. And it's interesting you talked about Poobah. What year would you say you met Poobah? Like what if you had to put a year on it?
Well, I actually met Poobah. It had to be about 87, 88. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I had known of him a couple of years before,
so-
but I actually met him. I believe it had to be 87, 88, 86 even maybe.
Now you talk about Masters of Ceremony. It's crazy because my introduction to Poobah was through Masters of Ceremony. When did that was hey like that that was that and Poobah style like yours also very distinct.
Yeah.
Very unique. Very distinct, very unique. It's interesting that you two guys were able to collaborate and share that type of dynamic in one group.
When you guys dropped your first album, right? Did you think that it was gonna have the impact it had in the community? Because you guys were also hard and conscious at the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, as we was going along, I felt that it was going to make some type of difference. You know what I mean? It just was an overall vibe to the album where I was like, somebody's going to like this. You know what I'm saying? Now, to the magnitude of where it went, I didn't know. But in my mind, I kind of had an idea that, you know, somebody was going to like this message because it was needed at the time.
It's funny because, you know, when you're young, we used to see you always at the clubs. You know, like I told you, the first time I saw Brandnubian was at Powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know, tell me about that performance because I remember
Oh,
that.
yeah, that was at Powerhouse. I think that was Daddy's House, one of them Daddy's House joints.
With Jessica Rosenblum. Yeah.
And I think we went up there and did something. We did a song we wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
did a song called The Devil.
Oh, I remember that specifically.
We snuck that in.
Yeah, I remember that specifically.
And some of the powers that be wasn't really too
I remember
happy with
that.
it, but
I
People
remember
were
that.
extremely offended.
yeah, but it was what it was. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? That's what we
It's
was
funny
doing.
because if we were in the times now with social media, it would have been all over the world.
And
Yeah,
you'd be canceled
yeah.
for that with this.
Yeah, probably be
So
canceled.
listen, that's interesting that you said that because I remember at the time there was a lot of controversy in the music business about you guys performing that. That
Yeah.
sent shockwaves through the music business.
Yeah, that was like,
Jessica
oh.
was upset about it. A lot of people were pissed off about that. If that were happening now in today's climate and culture, the Brandnubians would have been canceled.
Oh yeah, man. It's hard to survive in this category. That's why the kids grow up how they grow up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is shielded. Like you it's no losers no more. Like to take from a totally opposite point. When I played basketball when I was little, you won or you lost. You understand?
Everybody didn't get no trophy.
Everybody ain't getting no trophy. You know, my pops would be like, "Yo, man, y'all lost, man. Let's beat it on back to the crib, man. Y'all got to work on your game.
let me
I ain't gonna
ask-
keep coming out if y'all gonna lose." So,
Let me
you know.
ask you a very important question. Who came up with that name, Brandnubians?
I would say it was well, it probably was a more of a combination of. I think at the time we had a guard that was traveling with us, Sincere, and if I know he had a lot of influence over that name. If I'm remembering right, you know, like I think that was a Sincere production.
I got a very important question for you, right? So you guys were one of the early conscious kind of like, you know, knowledge yourself type of rappers. Public Enemy was around that doing the same thing. So do you feel like groups like NWA and the West Coast rap, when they came out with gangster rap, kind of like took that out the way, or kind of like it clashed with each other?
Well, I feel. I mean, that was what they came out was needed too. That was definitely a needed road of music that needed to be out, because that's what them brothers was going through on that coast. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
and plus, fuck the police needed to be said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
that was an important message too.
You know, I never had no grievance or problems with their music. I believe that that music, though, as far as record companies and as far as industry, that was easier to promote. You understand? Because they could keep that. Like when you was talking about stuff like that, you was basically in a box. And as long as you in a box, the record company, they know where you at. You understand? As far as us, like our teachings at that time was new, and I was outside of the box, so they couldn't figure us out. They didn't know what angle we was going with. Some songs was this way, other songs was that way. So it was kind of hard to keep tabs on it. Sometimes when you do a certain type of music, after a while they can put you in a box, and I think that's basically what they did to kind of weed out some of the positive music that was going on. But no fault to NWA. They pioneers and definitely.
I was always a big fan of
theirs.
theirs.
Yeah, me too. Always, definitely.
Always a big fan of theirs. So let me ask you one more question, right? So you live in the South now, right?
Yeah, I'm in Raleigh.
And you're a family man.
Well, you could say that.
Okay. So how did you transition from being a hip hop star to living an upper middle class lifestyle, just a regular dude?
Basically, man, it's the time progression. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still love hip hop wholeheartedly, and I still do it. I might do more now than I did at the last years of me not working. You know, because now when I'm working and doing this forces me to be serious. It ain't no downtime playing around with it. When I'm gonna get to the studio, do this or get a record out, I got to get to it. You understand?
Absolutely.
Because it ain't no playing around. Because the next day I may have to go to work, and I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get to it again. So I get to it, and it's dead serious, man. It's no slacking with this. And my thing is, anything you do, you got to keep your blade sharp. You understand? If you don't use your blade, you're not gonna know how to go into battle. You're not gonna know how to slice nobody. So you constantly got to keep sharpening that blade. You understand?
100%. How you feel about your new music? I love it. I personally like
it. Yeah, Alamo put that down. You know, that's my man. And fortunately, it started this summer with Diamond D joint to get with it.
That Diamond D joint is fire.
Yeah. Flex
Shout out to Diamond D.
And then right behind that, a joint called Here I Come. Alamo put that out. You know, Alamo sent that to me, and we got on that. And then I got another joint out right now called Hold On.
I love this
one.
one.
It's all in progression. You know what I'm saying? So, and the way I figured it is like, yo, man, like a lot of times they try to put older rappers in a box. You know what I'm saying? In that old school box, and that's cool to a certain extent. You understand? But sometimes old school is old fool. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes old school, and not all, but sometimes old school is fat broads and dudes who want to talk about hip hop all night. You understand? That don't know what I put out last. I asked me why I ain't made a record since All for One. Sometimes that's old school too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like, nah, B, I'm not with that yet. That's why when I do stuff, I can do the old stuff, but I got new stuff too. New stuff that sound good, not new stuff.
It's relevant.
That's relevant. And not new school, new music with an old dude rhyming on it, old school style. Where if you make something like that, I'm gonna cancel it too. I don't care who you are. You understand?
So great. I'm glad we're on this topic. Mm-hmm. I'm about to bring Jose into the fold here. So chronological age to me doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You could be young and be a whack MC, and you could be old and be a great MC. To me, the age of the artist doesn't mean anything. There is no expiration date on an MC's talent, right? But now, there is an expiration date on creativity if you're not keeping your pulse on the stick. Right.
Oh, yeah.
You can be a veteran and you can be one of these hip hop icons and you can put out whack records.
Hey man, I done heard some veterans known veterans that I love that I hear and I be like, come on, man, nah, B, this ain't it. Ain't it.
Me and the older guard was building on this today, and I want to ask a question to the older guard. Do you feel if an icon is whack, he should still be putting out music? If his music is trash.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something, right? This is how I feel. Guys like...
Don't say no names if they whack.
No.
right.
I'm just saying general. You know, there's a certain respect I got for the leaders, and I call Sadat X, Brandnubian, you know, Melly Mel, Cool Mo D, whoever it is. If they started something, and even if they're not that sharp now, I still have the respect for them because they made something out of nothing. So I have to keep them up there as far as, you know, the same way we you know, the other people, they respect the Rolling Stones, and you never hear them say nothing bad about those guys, you know.
That's true.
Right?
So here's a little difference, you know, Eric, you're saying that's true. And here, Jose, the Stones are not putting out new music. The Stones have been on tour with their same hits from the 70s and 80s forever. They're not trying to drop new credible music.
Well, you know what? Let's tap into that just for 2 seconds, okay? Rap music changes. It's like the kids, right? The kids that were listening something last year, they're not listening to that this year. It's changing. It changes every few minutes. In the 90s and in the 80s, rap wasn't changing that much. It would stay the same for a few years, and we would love it and we would listen it. Now you could listen to a song and the person is famous today and not famous tomorrow.
Because I don't know if the Rolling Stones could have came out now.
No.
And did that. And they came out at a good time, and they built a tremendous following doing that. But a lot of times, man, it's like, I don't know, like if you're an older dude and you putting out stuff, especially one of my pioneers, I'm gonna respect you on the fact that you did it. But you get a different type of respect, man. Exactly. You don't get that same respect where I see you and be, because I'm not even gonna front. I see you and I just give you a pound. It ain't gonna be me gassing, yo, that drink was hot, yo, I'm telling you, man. Ooh.
Right.
Nah, I ain't gonna. What up, B? All right, and I'm gonna keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, like, cause I'm not gonna shit on nobody's dream.
I want to ask you a question. Go ahead.
Do you feel like that you came out in one of the dope eras because it was you guys, leaders of the new school, De La Soul,
Tribe,
Brandnubians, Tribe Called Quest, like all you guys were hot at the same time. Like, do you feel like that era was like untouchable?
Yeah, because it was a battlefield, man. You had to go through minefields to get to where you had to go to, man. Because you knew that De La was going to put out some of the Jungle Brothers or these dudes, and you had to be nice, man. Because, see, a lot of people forget about hip-hop came from an era, man, where it was a point in hip-hop where hip-hop wasn't no safe shit. Like, you just couldn't go to no hip-hop party. Like, you know, like Latin Quarters over there in Union Square. You just didn't go to that. Like, and if you did go to that, like, sometimes I see these kids in the clubs, and they be drunk and wobbling around with a neck full of jewelry. I be thinking about my man. It was a time somebody came right up on you, put their umbrella, come over here, homeboy. Don't
take that off.
I need that. We're not even gonna snatch that. Take that shit off.
Take that shit off.
You feel this horse in your back right here. Make another move. I need that. You know, hip hop wasn't safe. You go to Latin Quarters over there. I remember times going in there. I seen a dude with a sword in Latin Quarters. It'd be a big fight, boom, 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 and they'd be out. You know what I'm saying? So. Those times change, and I'm not mad at it, but it's an easier time now. Anybody can rap. Like, I asked my nephew one time, like, why you want to rap? Oh, because I want to get some girls in the car. Nah, that's the wrong reason, dude.
I have a question for you. How did you get that name, Sadat X?
That was in the 5% Nation. You know what I'm saying? I just had to come up with a name that I felt was, befitting of myself. The brothers was all guards, and the messages that we was going through was needed at the time, so I needed the whole total rebirth.
So now here's a question. What's today's mathematics, God?
Today's mathematics is knowledge, wisdom, all being more understanding. Yeah.
Knowledge being born all the time. Exactly. No, listen, let me tell you something. So this is the truth. Back when I was in school, right? We lived in Clinton Hill, and I remember I was fronting like I was guard body. I was capping.
And that area where you from, that's a main guard area over there.
Guards all through Clinton Hill.
Fort Green Park and all that.
Son, I was capping, and some guards rolled up on me, and they was like, yo, what's today's mathematics, guard? And I was like, damn, bro. And my man that was with me was guard, and he was like, nah, he new to it, you know what I'm saying? He learning his math right now.
You know what?
I just gave him his lessons. These niggas was ready to really, really put it on me because I was fronting like I was guard. I only said I was guard because the niggas I went to school with that was cool was guard.
What high school you went to? Huh? What high school you went to?
Oh, so high school I went to Clara Barton.
Oh, no, I remember Barton.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about when I went to Rothschild.
Okay.
I'm talking about when I went to Rothschild. When I went to Rothschild, it was a lot of guards in Rothschild, and there was a lot of earths in there, and it was just the cool thing to do at that time. But what people didn't know is back then, if you was running around talking about you guard body, nigga, you better know your mathematics.
You was getting served. You was getting served.
served.
No, you better know.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
sir,
have
the
one
justice.
question I want to ask you. How did you get that record deal? And did you know anything about the music business, or you just like you was just happy to get one?
I mean, we got the deal through, Dante shopping the record, and, finally Elektra was the ones that, first it was going to be Tommy Boy, but Dante was moving to Elektra. So he said, hang on, he had a next situation. So we went that way. But I didn't really have that much knowledge at first of the actual industry. I knew about the, making records, and I had seen it enough going to different studios and seeing the process of it. So I did know the process, you understand? But I didn't know the inner workings of it. I had to learn that.
You guys still get royalties from the old records?
Do we get? I don't know about all for one, because that was a shaky deal back then. That was one of them shaky.
They were still doing jerk deals back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
shaky because you feel Dante Ross was also taken advantage of?
Nah, I don't.
Or you feel like Dante was the one who put you guys in a bad position with the contract that he offered you guys?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Dante put us in a position to be where we are now. You understand? It was just back then, man. That was the nature of the game, man. Everything was new. A lot of dudes, they coming from the hood. You get a couple of dollars, you take it and flip it and do whatever you do with it.
Right.
That's what I did with my money the first deal
that-
I got
you made
done.
shit happen.
Hell yeah.
Wow. At that time, that's what was going on.
Yeah, that's what was
And
going
that's
on.
across the board. That's just
Yeah.
y'all guys.
Mhm.
So did you know you were nice? Like when you heard those records, like people was like, yo, that nigga nice. Did you know you were nice?
Well, I knew I had the potential to be nice, because when I was in junior high school rapping, the kids would gravitate and come get me to rap. When I was in high school, people would come get me to rap. So I knew that it was something that I had, that if I could hone this, I might could do something special with it. You understand?
Now, Willie got a pair of my
Yeah.
sneakers. I wonder where he got them, because I hit him behind my speakers.
So-
This my nigga right here, bro.
that little
So-
part, that little part that you said when the X makes an exit, I used to always say that
Yeah.
shit. Like when we go to the club, nah. If we call King,
That's a standard line. Like,
Yeah, that's how it was.
So what's your relationship with the two with your other two partners?
Everything's good. They doing a lot of stuff together now. Me, I'm zeroing in on
You
on
doing
what I
you.
do. Yeah, because my thing is like this. If you in this game long enough, you supposed to be able to make yourself a brand. You understand? You supposed to be able to fit in and out like a Lego piece. You understand? I can fit with Brandnubians, and I can pop back out and do that. And I've made it. I've brought it into fruition that I can go do Brandnubian songs, but then I can go do an hour of Sadat X other songs, an hour and a half to 2 hours of songs that's not Brandnubian. You understand? Brandnubian in my set is a small punks, all for one, slow down. Then I can move on. I can go through the whole Wild Cowboys. the whole,
his favorite artist like Lionel Richie. You're like Lionel Richie. You got your own joints, and then you got the Commodores.
Exactly, and that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way you gonna eat on. I'm not a side man. Right. Not saying I was in the group, but I'm not. I do what I do.
You're not waiting on no
exactly.
particular niggas
I do
to
what
put
I
out
do.
music.
Hell yeah.
You putting out music when you feel like putting
there you
music.
Go.
When you feel
what
creative,
I want, there you go.
When you feel inspired. I wanted to ask you something, right? Because it's interesting. These couple of past weeks that we've been talking, trying to schedule you on the show, it's interesting that family has been top of mind for you, and you're actually here in New York this weekend to celebrate your beautiful daughter's birthday.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
BK, stand up, LG.
I feel like fathers in the culture and fatherhood in the culture generally, right? People look at people from hip hop culture as if we're poor parents, poor fathers, as if we're absent and not present. Can you build on the importance of your fatherhood and how you mix that with hip hop, how it's been able to work?
Well, first of all, fatherhood is in a man, that's your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, sometimes you get in a shaky situation with the woman, and y'all go through what y'all go through, but you always got to try to be visible and be a part of, even through the mountain. And see, I got daughters. You understand? Fathers and sons, that's a special relationship, but a fathers and daughters, that's a different type of bond. You understand? Because a lot of times you remember some of the stuff you did, and you be like, I ain't gonna let nobody do this to my daughters. You know what I'm saying? This and that, and that's a special type of bond. So I'm thankful to be able. I got 2 daughters. I got one that's 32 and one that'll be 5 tomorrow. So that's a hell of a stretch.
God
right
bless.
there.
God
But
bless.
it's a beautiful thing, you know, because my youngest daughter actually kept me on my toes, my 5-year-old, because I had to be up. And when I was up, I started my hard writing again. You understand? So now, like, I'm on a wheel right now. I'm on a good run right now.
I would like to take time to recognize our sponsor, Jack Turner Watches. At jackturnerwatches.com, I'm wearing an all 18 karat gold custom piece by Jack Turner. We have a special gift for our guests today. If you use the code JACK20, you will get 20% off site-wide on any timepiece that you want at jackturnerwatches.com. Jack Turner Watches, beautifully designed, masterfully crafted.
There you go.
I want to ask you this, Dot. You were talking about branding, and you as an artist, you know, you have to be able to create a brand for yourself. So with the way that music has shifted from physical copies to everything being digital, and then even moving from digital hard copies, now moving into things that solely exist in the cloud. How does an artist, right? What is your advice for a younger artist? How do they make themselves relevant in this digital age where it's so hard to make money streaming? What people don't realize is 1 million streams is only $4,500. 1 million Spotify streams is only $4,500. Think about 5,000 copies, hard copies, physical copies being sold at $9.99, how much money that is. So a guy who only sells 5,000 copies can make several $100,000, and a guy with millions of streams, Jose, will make 5 Gs. What advice do you have for these young artists? How are they able to make their brand credible, not only credible, but profitable?
I just tell them, yo, like, first off, you gotta have some type of separation factor, cause rap ain't shit no more. I be telling a lot of young dudes when rap, I say, if I take your name and put it in this big bag right here and I spin it around and I pull out a name, what's gonna make you different from these dudes? You understand? Like, rap used to be like a boutique. Now it's like the open mall. Like, it ain't nothing special no more. So now you gotta find some type of separation factor, something that makes people want you. You understand? Fortunately for me, it was my voice. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, what we come in this to is the end of the hanger zone, because now, even in the older groups and stuff, it got to be something about you that people want. You know what I'm saying? Because, and in my case, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to get, I would say, a different type of demographic and following sometimes, because a lot of times in my demographic, it's the older group. A lot of older dudes, they don't know how to stream and do all this other stuff. They're like, yo, I don't know all that.
I don't know how to do this. I don't even know where to find it.
Yeah, I listen to the radio. How many times have I had dudes come up to me and be like, yo, man, so after All For One, you didn't make no more records? I'd be like, yo, then you wasn't a Sadat X fan, B.
No,
like, come on, man, don't hit me like that. Yeah. You know, so you gotta find something that separates you, that makes people want you. For me, fortunately, it was my voice. You understand? That kind of made me a separation
Very
factor.
distinct.
It got to be something that keep you around.
Your voice, but also your flow and your word patterns. The way you put sentences together, it's just very unique. And even in your era, where a lot of people were trying to be conscious, what separated you from those niggas was you had a hard element to your shit.
And basically that's from knowing things. See, a lot of time these kids nowadays, they don't know a lot of things. When I say things, I mean, when I was coming up, we read Message to the Black Man. We read this book. We read The Alchemist. We different books. As you read books and attain more knowledge, you know how to speak on more things. You understand? If you don't read, you can't lead if you can't read. You understand? Like, a lot of these kids, they don't know shit. Like, I'll ask them, I don't know. What you mean you don't know? How you don't know this? Like, that's why in your music, it's only talking about some coke, some jewelry, and guns. And that goes for a way. It goes for a way if you're nice with the wordplay. But at some point, it ain't going to even out. Especially in this world now of everything is found out. They're going to see, yo, you don't sell no coke like that. I'm tired. I don't want to hear that no more. Okay, you gave me that. What you do now?
Because it's not even real.
It's not real, man. This whole thing, I be telling when I used to teach in the school, I used to tell these kids, don't be gassed by this shit, yo.
Let me ask you this. Right? During your heyday with the Brandnubians and even your solo career right after that, that was pretty successful, right? Did you enjoy yourself? Like, did you do the groupie thing? You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause you don't seem like a guy who really indulges that much. I don't know.
And I'm not bragging about Brandon,
but you did your
we
thing?
was good.
Y'all was good? All right.
And we didn't have to go run around chasing and being thirsty
Of course,
about
that's
it.
what
You know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying?
You
We
guys
was
are-
okay.
At
We
the
was
time, you
okay.
guys are super famous.
No question.
Come on.
That ain't never been a question from the Brandnubians.
And listen, that was a different time in rap, right? That was before social media.
Yeah.
So for
See,
you,
once
for you to
social
win,
media came around,
it's different.
Yeah.
For you to win back then, you had to really be famous. There was no way for me to search you on the internet. I had to see you in real life. Like you said, you saw him at the Powerhouse. He performed for us at the Octagon. He performed for us at Club in the Grill. Like, you had to be outside earning your name. Not only earning your name,
Does he
earning
even
your
know
money.
the Octagon story? Does
Honor
he
your
even know
money.
the Octagon story?
No, I'm gonna share it with him right now. So my two brothers were promoters, and they were fairly decent sized promoters. They were
Okay.
called the Love Brothers, Jose and Eric, and we were doing parties at the Octagon, and we were like, you know what? We need to do something big. We need to drum up, the crowd that we're bringing in. So we came up with this idea called Rap Mania, where we took everybody who was hot at the time and we put all y'all names on the flyer.
Special invited guests.
Yeah. We put everybody's name. You feel me?
We put Brandnubian.
Special invited guests with the insinuation that y'all was gonna come. Because I was capping and lying to niggas. Niggas would get the flyer and be like, yo, they gonna be there? 100% nigga. 100%. Yeah, they gonna definitely be there. And you know what's crazy is y'all showed up. And y'all showed out and y'all performed. Yo, peace for that, King.
Oh, yeah.
And that was some real hip hop shit. Back then, artists would show up to a club. They may have necessarily not been on the bill, but if your party was credible and they was in the mood,
Yeah, they get up on there
they'll
and
rock
do
your
it.
shit.
Hell yeah.
They'll do their hits and rock your shit.
Peace to Kane. Kane showed up. and he
Nigga, Peace to
performed.
Kane, Care, S1, Jamal, Ski, the Brandnubians,
Naughty by
Just
Nature.
Ice.
Yeah.
Just Ice.
Go
yeah.
to the party. It be women and y'all dance and y'all have a good time. Nowadays, when I see these parties, like I was speaking with one of the young boys one day, and I was like, yo, man, like I seen y'all. You was at this party. It was some girls there, but I just noticed that like it was a lot of phone play. I was like, y'all don't dance with girls? He was like, no. I said, no. First I asked him, I said, y'all don't dance?
No, it's
he was like,
real.
yo, usually it be me and my dudes, and we do some moves. I said, together? I said, y'all don't
Yo,
dance with girls?
Back then,
he
we
was
was
like, yo,
grounded
we
on
don't really
chicks.
be-
We was grounded on chicks.
He said, the girls be over there. And I said, yeah, that's some real goofy shit to me, man.
But you know what I say about back then? At the party, they played slow jams.
Yeah.
Listen, they played slow jams at the hip hop party.
Yep.
And at the party, they played a ton of reggae.
Nah,
And when that reggae came on, when that shubba came on, nigga.
niggas was nothing in their
Listen,
pants.
when that shubba came on, them girls knew what time it was
Hell
when that
yeah.
shubba came on. So you got to remember, the palette and the taste for music was different. We had a much, much, much broader spectrum of music that was being played in the club. So a lot of the reasons why little kids don't dance anymore is because when you in the club, all they hear is trap.
Yeah.
They listen
That's
to
true.
4 or 5 hours.
And just like loud, weird music, like imagine listening to some of this music that be playing now, and then taking some pills. You listen to that, get in your car, and run straight into a wall. Bow,
Bro,
Yes.
bro,
It's
real
crazy.
shit.
It's crazy. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to remember that. And then the most we did was smoke bud.
Yeah.
That's all we did. It wasn't nothing else moving. It wasn't no other drugs moving in the culture besides bud. Niggas wasn't popping no Molly. Fuck is Molly? Niggas wasn't taking no Xanax.
That didn't come till later.
Yeah,
Bro,
that came later. Yeah.
that's recent stuff where drugs are running through the culture. Nigga wasn't sipping lean. Look at what's going on in Atlanta and the way that they promote sipping lean. I can't name one Atlanta artist who's popular who doesn't make music about basically being leaned over. That's what lean does to you. or Dirty Sprite. They're naming albums after it.
Yeah. And I got something to add on because, see, people don't remember this. This is how far back I go with hip-hop. People be talking about drugs in the car. Oh, yes, it was.
Yeah.
Understand, back then, you be in one of them parties, especially uptown somewhere,
This stuff's
and
a blow.
somebody got the bill out. Yo, if you want some cocaine, say
Yeah.
cocaine.
Yeah.
And niggas be dancing.
The fever.
The
fever.
Early-
But those were the older cats.
Yeah, those were the older ones.
That's more Jose's age group. Early records made reference to cocaine all the time.
Yeah.
All the ladies in the place, if you're on the go, and every once in a while, take a sniff of the blow. Say ho, ho. You feel me? That was in his lyric.
And even
That was in his lyric.
Even with the cracks, because I remember when cracks first came out. You understand?
Smoking
82,
woolies.
80 niggas be in the club. When
Smoking
chicks would be
woolies.
like, you don't got none of that, what they smoking? I'm gonna go mess with them. I'm like, nah, I just got some weed right
I just
here.
got
I
some
don't
bud,
that.
yeah.
But the woolies was big. See, what happened with crack is when motherfuckers start getting skinny and start stealing shit and doing all types of wild goofball shit. That's when that fell out of
See,
pocket.
crack went 0 to 100
Yeah,
real quick.
it was
So
real
I was,
quick. So it had a.
I was already hustling at this
Yeah,
time.
it had an easier
And
downfall.
I was selling powder. Like my game was 50s and 8 balls. That was my game. And what I can tell you about it was the niggas who sniffed coke heavy started transitioning into smoking crack because it was more affordable.
There was basing.
It was more affordable, right? You can get it crack. And back then there was no 5s and there was no 10s. It was $25 pieces of crack is how it started. Because we were either selling 20s of coke, 50s of coke, or 8 balls, or we were selling 25. And we wasn't mixing it with other stuff. We were just cooking it. And it was pure in the beginning. But then when niggas saw how much you can stretch it,
stretching that
you can
shit,
stretch
yeah.
it, and it got more profitable. Niggas was like, let's put all kind of chemicals in here. We gonna turn the fucking ounce into damn near fucking 60 grams.
I remember
You
a
feel
time
me?
that boy came out with them baseballs. That's because my grandmother's on 57th Street in Rivers in the Broadway. So I remember when they came out with the baseballs, when niggas was like, "What is this?"
X, I wanted to ask you a question. What do you listen to now?
What do I listen to now? Oh man, I still listen to a lot of old stuff, man. I listen to like Ultramagnetic, James Brown, but I like a lot of the young boy stuff. It's so many of them that I don't know all the names of.
Okay,
Like,
so one that stands out to you. If you had to name one young nigga that stands out to you, just one name, which name would it be?
It's gonna be strange, but I like this dude man named Sauce Walker.
Okay, I like Sauce Walker.
Yeah, Sauce Walker's
Like
real
Sauce-
raw
I-
and gritty. I like him.
I ain't gonna front. I don't know if you fuck with Lil D from Brooklyn.
I don't.
Lil
The little white boy.
Yeah, nigga.
Yeah. He's
Yo,
all right.
listen.
He's
Lil
yeah,
D
yeah.
from Coney Island.
Yeah,
Me and you
he's
been
all right.
talking.
He's all right.
I've been talking to him. Me and him been talking. Lil D coming
Yeah.
on the show. Jose, Eric, when you get
He's Italian?
Yeah, Italian. My Italian
When you
brothers,
get an
yeah.
opportunity, Giancarlo
Yeah, he's pretty
Tarantino, tap in with this nigga Lil
I
D
checked
from
him, I
Coney
checked
Island.
him.
Now Lil D
Italian
is a
boy.
beast, man, and he embodies everything that the culture is. This nigga could freestyle. This nigga could make records. This nigga could perform. He don't punch in. He don't use tracks on stage. He's not rapping with his record. You put the fucking beat on, and this nigga goes.
And that's
Shout
why I
to
tell them
Lil
young
D.
boys, because as long as you have a good stage show, people might not even know who you was.
Your ex.
But if you got a good stage show, they be like, I like that.
Do you have a top 5
Damn.
of all time?
I got a
I would love to
top
hear
five.
your version of top 5.
My top 5 is strange.
Go ahead, let's do
My
it.
top 5 got Cool Keith.
Okay, let's do it.
We Kooky fans.
My
Let's
top
do it.
5 got my man AG.
Oh, let's do
Okay.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
My top 5 may have Guilty Simpson.
Okay, let's do it.
My top 5 may have OC.
Okay,
that's four.
it.
That's four.
If OC,
That's
who else
four.
would come?
You know I love OC.
And maybe Black Thought.
Okay.
Oh, nigga,
okay.
come on.
That's
Okay.
I'm a little
So
different.
you're
with it.
eclectic.
Yeah, I like off.
You're eclectic,
stuff.
yeah.
I like
Okay, but you see, here's the thing about Black Thought. I don't see Black Thought as eclectic. Black Thought
I'm
to
not
me,
talking about Black Thought he gave a whole plethora of people.
No, yeah. I'm specifically honing in on Black Thought. Black Thought is in the top 2 to 3 MCs conversation every time. You gotta put him in there. This nigga is one of the greatest MCs on the planet.
Yeah.
And niggas leave Black Thought out when they mention Rakim. It's always Rakim. Even for me, I mention Rakim. And then I always go Biggie. And then I go Nas. And then I go Jigga.
Yeah, those are the standards.
Right. Then I go Nas, then I go Jigga. But Black Thought, nigga, if you watching, You a fucking animal, buddy. You a
Yeah,
beast.
and he
you
got
up there. You up there with the guard rock
he
him.
can get raw.
I'm telling you, nigga, not no music.
He gets raw.
You up there with the guard rock him.
So let me ask you a question. You ever see in the future the Brandnubians doing a show or going on tour?
Well, sometimes we still do shows, tour. Hopefully, I mean, like I said, I'm moving around.
Right.
So yeah, if it come to it, it come to it. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
More specifically, do you see a new Brandnubian album in the works?
I don't know about that. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
It would have to come together collectively.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now, I have an interesting question. One of your associates has a particular take on the inception and creation of hip hop, specifically when it comes to people from the Caribbean and, more specifically, Puerto Ricans and their contribution to the culture. Do you share his sentiment, or are your views on that particular topic different?
Nah, well, like, as far as me, man, this is just me. I always rock. Well, in the Bronx, I mean, you have no choice but to live next. Your next door neighbor's Puerto Rican, and this dude. So we done came up hand in hand. I got
We're Puerto Rican.
Yeah, so I got that in my realm. Like, they was, as long as I was there, they was there. So that's what counted for me. And as far as all that other FBA stuff, like one day them dudes came at me, man, I ate their ass up. I told them, I said, come on,
I saw you on
I was like,
Instagram.
yo,
You
come
killed
on,
yeah.
FBA, like
with that shit, right?
Foundational Black America, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You canceled me, whatever. Did you buy my last album? No, I didn't think so. You know what I'm saying? It's too far for that. After, they I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just don't need no letters to define me. I know what it is. And ain't nobody ever said nothing to me about it. I walk up and down the block and I ain't heard nothing about it.
You ain't heard shit yet?
Not yet.
Okay, say less. Say less.
I'm glad you addressed it though.
Definitely. I ain't got no problem with FBA. They do what they do. They tried to come for me one day on there like I was going to back down. I'm like, whatever, son. See me in the street. That might even be worse.
Well, but Lord Jamal's Guyanese, what he talking about, right?
I mean, well, that I know that maybe his family has some heritage towards that way.
I mean, that's what I know.
You know what it is that black people that don't live in New York,
they don't understand
that we are one. They
in
don't.
Raleigh, I was trying to
to
explain that to some dudes. I was like, in the Bronx in New York, you gonna grow up with Puerto Ricans down there, and especially Puerto Ricans down in Raleigh. That's a rare thing. I'm like, yo, you have to come up in New York. You might knock on your Puerto Rican man. Yo, you got a pack of Kool-Aid? Yo, let me get some sugar. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you don't, and it's messed up because it made it have to be my Puerto Rican man when it was just my man. You know what I'm saying? All that division stuff made it be like that to me.
X, let me tell you something, right? Growing up, me and my brothers, we didn't have any Puerto Rican friends. All our friends were 100% black. We didn't grow up with Puerto Ricans. We grew up with black people, right? My mother used to come and feed the neighborhood. We used to go to their cribs and eat too. You know what I mean? That's just how it was.
Yeah, for me, like I said, they be like, well, the parents, well, I'm not the parents. This is me I'm talking about. You know, like, I'll be telling dudes here, like, if you didn't buy my last album, I don't care if you're Puerto Rican, FBA, whatever, get the hell out of here.
No, we're Puerto Rican, but we always consider ourselves black. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like,
if you look at me walking down the block, or you look at one of my two brothers, bro, we look 100% black. So you can't be like, oh, it's different. What people don't realize, and this is black people in general, the slave master used these different terms and titles to separate us. If I call you Jamaican, and I call you Haitian, and I call you Puerto Rican, and I call you Dominican, and I call you Cuban, what I'm doing is separating you guys. I'm separating you guys in a way that if you really think about it, right? So if you think about ethnicity specifically, it's not even a real thing. We all come from the African gene. The African gene is the dominant gene. So you can't separate us and be like, because I speak a different language, because I speak Spanish, that doesn't make me from Spain. I'm just a nigga who got kidnapped from Africa and wound up in a Spanish-speaking place. I'm never gonna be Spanish. That's a fake term.
And usually the dudes that be going the hardest on the keyboard, be like, oh nigga, you ain't even never come outside.
Never.
You understand? You in the crib saying that bullshit. You ever been somewhere? You ever been to Latin Quarters or a real club? Nah, that's why sometimes, man, I had to.
Never.
My man Sean Penn told me, yo, chill, man. He's like, sometimes you get so wound up trying to explain stuff to people. Well, now it's like, yo, whatever, man, whatever.
So that if you could make a song with somebody, any other MC, who would you pick?
That you haven't collaborated with yet.
That I haven't collaborated with. Well, one definitely would be Sauce Walker. It's a couple, damn, because I had him in my mind for this question before.
Specifically?
Yeah, and I never can remember them because it's a lot of the young boys that I do want to do something with. Damn, like, see all them NBA young boys and this and that. Like, I don't know them, and they do their numbers.
Yeah.
But to me, they sound the same. It's that same pattern. No. And then a lot of like these rappers now they always like crying over broads and this and that. I'm like, come on, man, man up, man. I'm tired of y'all, man up. But then y'all want to man up and go shoot each other. This that. How about you throw your hands up and y'all just lock in? You talking shit. I'm gonna bring y'all both to the bathroom. I ain't gonna let nobody else come in there, and y'all lock in, and then see who come out. That's gonna show me some real gangster shit. All that shooting shit. A coward will shoot a man in the back.
Yeah.
I want you to mention, because we own a Spirit brand, we own the vodka brand. You heard about it, Supreme Clientele. We sponsored one of the something you did in Brooklyn. I know you were into the wine game for a minute.
Yes, definitely.
You still working on the wine thing?
Yes, well, actually, I was speaking to my man Will Tell today.
What is the name of the wine, first of all?
True Wine Connoisseurs. We still got a lot of episodes, back episodes that we did of our wine tastings on YouTube. Go to True Wine Connoisseurs. But I was speaking with Will today. We talking about rebranding, getting the band back together like the Blues Brothers. And we learned a lot. See, what I did learn in the wine and the alcohol business is that most of the big fish in there, they say you don't win on your first time. They say your first time is your learning phase.
Yeah.
After you learn everything that you did right and everything you did wrong, and then the next time you go into it, that's for the kill.
Okay, well, I wish you luck on that, man. Want you guys success, man. 'Cause,
Definitely.
we trying to make it happen too.
Yeah, we trying.
I love that you said that, and I want to touch on something Dot just said. If at first you don't succeed, nigga, try again. I can't tell you how many things me and my brothers have done together that have not been as successful as we would wish them to be, but nonetheless, we keep throwing our coals in the fire.
That's all you could do.
Because you never know when it's going to spark off for you.
Yep.
You already know.
That's a fact.
Dot, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick.
All right.
You know what I mean? Don't get angry with me,
Nah.
bro. I need you to give me that verse from All for One.
Which one? On file.
Yeah.
That's why I caught a clip. Suitcases packed and I'm going on a trip to Philadelphia. Go for self and still be slamming. The school bell is ringing and I call somebody cramming folk for tests. Oh yes, my study got is thick. I cut you with my verbal, didn't hurt you, just a nick off your face. Don't play possum, watch me and I'll blossom like a rose. And get some new clothes and a fresh fade from Rob. Jump on the phone and dial the now room mom to come one, come all. We about to get hectic. If my crew don't get in, the X makes the X to the rear.
What?
I'm out of here. Don't front on my brother.
What?
I take care of them before I take care of others. Now, wood batch is doomed in 25, it's aluminum. Step to the stage with a mic and I'm doing something awful. I'm assisting and I'm lawful. But you know what else I am? I am the native New Yorker. the Ralph Ave walker. The girl don't give up the box, then why you stalk her? I'm the all-star for everybody. My 16 got you like a sick fiend. Think it was at 16, my man up in Green sent a letter to me. Son, get that cheddar to me. I got you, my man, fast. Won't let another minute pass. I'm after brains and a big ass. I got to find another way. I can't afford another felony. The brown water come out when the lights go down. I can't serve you right here. Go to the corner and walk around. Take you out of your snap back until you snap back. I need bread. Motherfuck some plaque. You bad work. You too old. You can't be brought back. I am the recooker. I ain't hit her. I just shook her. That's where the vibe took her. I smoked the bone while sitting on the stoop. Then I seen the black coupe. It kept riding in the loop and it fired on the group. And then the blue and whites came in the D's and the white shirts. Oh gosh, the lights hurt shining in my face. The ghetto bird was flying over the building stops. I guess that's where the building stops. I have no ceiling. I do this because I love how I'm feeling.
Oh my God.
That's all the sharp.
It's over.
Okay, now listen.
That's all the
I
sharp.
don't want no artist coming up here talking about they hip hop or they from the culture if I put you on the spot and you can't drop bars. The guard Sadat X is letting knowledge be
ripped it.
born.
Now
That's a Delgado's
That's one
podcast.
thing we was taught from Pooh Bah. Be ready.
Be ready.
Always be ready.
Shout out to Pooh Bah.
If you stay ready, you ain't got to
There
get
you
ready.
go. There you go.
Y'all
Man.
already know what it is, the Delgado's podcast, man. Listen, Dot, bro, it's been awesome, bro. I just appreciate you pulling up. To be honest with you, man, I recognize you as one of the greatest MCs from that era. I
Okay.
recognize the Brandnubians as one of the greatest groups from that era.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pleasure and an honor to have you here today.
Great
King.
to be here, brother. No
Amazing,
question.
bro.
Yo, peace and love, man.
Definitely. Thank y'all
Peace,
for
peace to
inviting
the
me.
gods. Peace to the gods.
You guys have any closing questions for the God Dot?
Nah, man.
Nah, after that rhyme,
after
that's
that
it.
rhyme, I can't say anything.
He just said his sword is sharp, and he stabbed us.
There you go.
You already know. Listen, man, the Delgado's podcast, we appreciate you guys tapping in. You already know what it is.
Peace and love. Peace
Bang.
and love.
Peace.